The teenage sisters, jealous of their friends' lifestyles, concocted a plan to murder their mother and collect the insurance money. And they almost got away with it. This is the story of the Bathtub Girls. Hey demons, welcome back to my channel. It's Lo, the beauty demon here. Today we're gonna jump into another shocking true crime story, only this time the perpetrators are anonymous teenagers. Also, I got a $100 gift certificate to Sephora, and I spent it on lots of little goodies. I also grabbed some of the Fenty foundation. I'm finally trying it. I know, I'm super behind. Sue me. I really hope this is my shade. Now, let's get into today's story. We're going all the way to a suburb of Toronto, Canada. Nice place. I mean, you know, it's Canada. So, because of the age of the perpetrators, aliases were given to all involved, you know, to protect anonymity under Canadian law. But if you look close enough, and you can find the name of everybody who's involved, but I will be using aliases out of respect. However, everything that I use and I outline here is either from court documents, or a few newspaper articles. So some of the court documents do use their real names, but I'm just going with aliases for everything. Also, if you're trying to keep this private, I'm not really sure why court documents with their legal names are, like, out there. The main series of events takes place from 2002 to 2004, with some stuff kind of like, you know, some follow-up later on. This were about two sisters. So the sisters were Sandra, who was 16, she was the older one, and then Beth, who was 15. They also had a younger brother. I have no idea what his name was. I don't have an alias for him. They barely even mention him except for the fact that he exists. So honestly, don't worry about him. He's not very important. So their mom, Linda, she was 43. She was actually an immigrant from Poland, and she was born there in 1959. I'm not sure when she immigrated to Canada, but Sandra was born in Canada in 1986, and Beth was born the following year. From birth, the sisters were inseparable. Now, I did find a memorial site for Linda. It used her real name. I think it said her profession was a soaring pilot. I'm not really sure what her real job is. I'm also not totally sure how she met their father and how all of that happened. Articles and documents don't really go into that because honestly they really don't care, I'm assuming. Linda did suffer from depression and alcoholism. She had several abusive relationships that resulted in not only her being abused, but also her daughters being abused as well. She did also have periods where she would get sober, go through recovery, creating a lot of hope for the family, and then she would relapse, which probably created a lot of resentment with the girls. You know, they're teenagers now, they're aware of what's going on. By 2002, Linda had lost another job. She also had a boyfriend that the girls didn't really like. They also blamed the fact that they didn't have nicer things like a pool or go on nice vacations like their friends on their mother's problems. Tired of, you know, being the ones to take charge of a situation, they would fantasize about what life would be like without their mother. What probably started off as a joke between friends slowly became them actually plotting the murder of their mother. Poor Linda. They're teenagers. Teenagers are stupid. They would, like, literally talk about this all the time. They would talk about it in public, at school, at the mall, in text, on MSN chat. Is MSN chat even still a thing anymore? They would dream about what they were gonna do with the insurance money that they would be getting. They could take a European vacation with their friends. They could buy a house with a marijuana farm in the backyard. They would attempt to delete these chats, but it seems that they missed some maybe, because police were able to locate literally all of the necessary information. All of these were found on their computers found in their home, and these all contain emails that they confirmed were that of the girls, Sandra and Beth, and that of their friends. So their friends were in on it too. Specifically, a lot of chat logs between Beth and her boyfriend, Scott. That's what we're gonna call it. A lot of the chat logs between them discuss different ways that they should do it. Should they suffocate her and then put her in the bathtub? Should they hit her head, you know, make it look like she accidentally drowned? They knew in order to collect the life insurance, though, it had to look like Linda died by accident. Different alibis were discussed, buying movie tickets for specific times, making dinner reservations and having multiple friends there. They also discussed what would happen to Beth and Sandra in the event of their mother's death. Beth also gloated that she was the one that would be making the 911 call because she was such a great actress. And they also talked about how upset her grandmother would be when she found out her mom was dead. Wow. On June 2nd, Beth and her boyfriend actually chatted on MSN. First they started talking about a fight that they had, and then they started talking about the alibi some more. Beth also was chatting with a friend named Ken, we'll call him Ken. And Ken was asking how things were going with their mom, Linda. Ken had seen firsthand, as a lot of friends had, what Linda was like when she was drunk. Beth, of course, spilled the beans. She told him the entire plan that she was discussing with Scott, probably at the exact same moment. Oh, what a time to be a teen, wasting your days on MSN or AIM. The early 2000s were something else. Also, Beth was literally just blabbing the plans to whoever happened to message her on MSN chat. I mean, come on, Beth. Like, I know you're a teenager, but are you that stupid? Hello. So on January 12th, Beth sent Scott a message saying that she and Sandra had set a date. It was going to be the next Saturday, the 18th. She said, quote, "No point dragging other people into it." Well then maybe you just shouldn't tell every person who messages you on MSN chat. January 13th though. That's where a lot of the chat logs come from that were used in the case between Beth and Scott. This is where they really rehearse the alibi. They were all going to dinner at a place called Jack Astor's. Sounds fancy. She once again mentioned the impact that it would have on her family. Beth also talks about how she better get, quote, "f***ing wasted this weekend." And Scott gets very specific. He tells her, you know, and I quote, "Make sure that you hold her head underwater for 10 minutes and leave her for an hour or two." Thanks, Scott. I was able to find an actual direct chat log between the two. Now, this chat log comes from the appeal from Scott, so yeah, I'm just gonna read it as the chat log is. Scott: "Your mom gets Tylenol 3s, right?" Beth: "Probably." Scott: "Seriously, you should include them in the game plan." Beth: "Why though? They're not necessary. You can't possibly make drowning into a suicide, but if she, like, ODs in the process? LOL." LOL, Beth? Really? Scott: "I'm not talking like 20 a year. I'm talking like 5. They'll knock you out right away." Well, what if she wakes up and sees you and Sandra holding her underwater? Beth: "We're not just gonna be like, oh my god, she looks drunk. Let's put her into the tub." We're gonna make sure that she can't walk and she can't possibly drink anymore and doesn't react to water on her face at all. And besides, head down first, easier to hold down. Then just turn her over or something. Just turn her over or something. That is it. Just turn her over or something. Smart thinking, Beth. You're so smart. However, Scott, you know, he's got some mansplaining. He says to Beth, not reacting to water on the face and not reacting to water filling your lungs is two totally different things. And you know what? Scott is right. Drowning is the single most painful way to die after slowly burning to death. Beth: LOL. It would suck to drown. Yeah, I'm sure it does, Beth. I'm sure it does fucking suck to drown. And then Scott goes on to explain the science of what happens to your body when you drown, which, like, I did find interesting, but it's not really relevant to, like, all of this. But Beth found it beautiful and wiped away a tear. Scott also offers up a bit more advice because, of course, even in a murder situation, there has to be some mansplaining involved. My advice: if she wakes up partway through, drag her out of the tub and pretend that you're trying to help her. Even an inch of water in the bottom of the lungs will kill somebody in a few days. Beth: It's great how you didn't think we thought of this, but we've discussed this all. Scott says, I'm telling you things that I'm not sure if you know them. Beth's response, it depends on how much she fights back. Sorry, I had to stop for a minute and just do my eyeliner, because liquid liner and talking, Now, where were we? Oh yeah, Beth and Scott just blasting all their information out on the internet. Good job, you guys. So incredibly intelligent sometimes. I mean, to be fair, it is like 2002. We were still trying to figure out what was going on. So, Beth, once again, she bragged about the bathtub accident kind of thing being her idea. Ooh, this is really light. We're going with it. And Scott, being the loving boyfriend, agreed in chat, quote, to help you with any of it, Beth. See, Scott is just being a good boyfriend. You know, he's ensuring that his love, Beth, will get away with murder so they can, I don't know, take that European vacation that they want to so bad. So the plan's set. Get Linda drunk, get some Tylenol 3s into her, and then get her into the tub to make it look like an accident. The Tylenol 3 was also especially important because Tylenol 3 contains codeine. And codeine would actually slow the heart rate and reduce her reaction. It would basically incapacitate her mixed with the alcohol. Smart Scott. On January 13th and 14th, Sandra and Ken would talk about the plans. They would talk about Jack Astor's, the restaurant, how Sandra would spend the money. Ken also asked, who else knows about these plans? Ken may be getting concerned. Get out, Ken, get out. Sandra tells Ken, me, Beth, Scott, you, and Nicole. Side note, I have not mentioned Nicole. Nicole is kind of like a frenemy of Sandra's. It appears Nicole and Sandra maybe like kind of joked about stuff a little bit, but Nicole didn't take any of this like actually seriously. That was until January 18th. That is when Nicole started taking it serious. Nicole and Sandra were chatting before they were all supposed to meet at Jack Astor's. I just like saying the name, Jack Astor's. It's like cool. Sandra asked Nicole, are you going to Jack Astor's or not tonight? Nicole's response said, are you saying what I think you're saying? Meaning, are you telling me that you're going to kill your mom? Sandra said they were going around 7. Nothing was happening yet, but that Linda was trash. They discussed the alibi, you know, of all of them meeting up at Jack Astor's, actually doing it. What it might look like to the jury if they came home stoned and found their mom. That is, of course, people didn't really think it was an accident. Nicole says she wants to hear the whole plan because Nicole is a chatty Cathy. And Sandra tells her, yeah, I'll tell you about it at the restaurant, okay? After sharing a couple of small details, you know, the Tylenol 3s, stuff like that, Sandra tells Nicole she's passing out right now. And Nicole's response, good luck. Wear gloves. Okay, Nicole, what the actual hell? I mean, I guess that's some good advice for your friend who is about to kill their fucking mom. So, just like they planned, Sandra and Beth led their mother, Linda, who they fed alcohol and drugs, into the bathroom. They got her into the bathtub. And Sandra was the one who actually got her mom in and held her mom's head underwater. Wearing gloves, just like Nicole suggested. Thanks, Nicole. Nicole later stated in deposition that she began to call them frantically, and she called several times. At one point, Beth did pick up and said, now's not a good time, and hung up the phone. At 6:51, Nicole received a call from the girls, and they told her to meet them at the bus stop. When they met up, they said to her something like, it's done, or we did it, you know, whatever. Then they entered the restaurant. It was here that Sandra threw away the gloves. Nicole said Sandra was very quiet, obviously probably pretty freaked out. Beth, however, was very chatty. She told Nicole and Scott. Ken initially said he was going to join them and assist in this alibi, but then he changed his mind and he said he was busy. Smart move, Ken. You might have actually a little bit of sense in you. The next day, Sandra, who had a boyfriend this whole time, sorry, I totally forgot to mention him. I don't even have an alias or a name for him. Literally, this is the only time we're ever going to talk about him. He called Sandra because he found out that her mom had passed away and he wanted to, you know, give us condolences and all that. And through their conversation, he inferred that she had killed her mom. Sandra said the following day they met up in person, so it would have been Monday, and she said to him, quote, "I got away with murder." She explains the use of the alcohol and the pills, how she wore gloves through it all, and how she only had to push her mom's head underneath water for only 4 minutes. Scott, you're not always right about everything. See, they didn't need to do a full 10. He also stated that Sandra did confirm that Beth was there, and at some point she left, to answer Nicole's excessive phone calls, and at one point she even yelled to Beth, "Where are you?" I mean, I'd be pretty pissed too if, all of a sudden my co-murderer left me high and dry. So Beth, and more specifically Sandra, told a few more people about the incident. Sandra, when she would confess, would seem a lot more remorseful, people would state. She would be emotional, she would be crying. One friend she even met after her mother's death, they got along, she developed a crush on him. One day he decided to meet up with her at her school and walk her home before he had to go to work. Like, how cute is that? He was pretty surprised to find out when he got there that she was drunk. And as they walked home, she told him she had something that she needed to talk to him about. It was then that she drunkenly confessed to him that she had, in fact, killed her mom. She told him everything, all of the plan, the whole shebang. He said that she was crying the entire time. Now, Beth, she had also been confessing. She had confessed to a mutual friend who had walked her to a bus stop. This mutual friend did have their suspicions, so they were asking, and eventually she confirmed them. She also, of course, told them everything, and she also told them that her boyfriend, Scott, was the one that supplied the Tylenol 3s. Eventually, all the confessing caught up with them, and they told... Well, they told the right person, but it was the wrong person for them anyway. Sandra told one other person. We'll call him Jack. And Jack is the real MVP of this story. Let's just stop and give him a round of applause. Because if it wasn't for him, this case would have never been solved at all. It would have just gone on being an accidental drowning. Jack had known the sisters since they were little. They all grew up together. Their moms had been friends. He and Sandra kind of had like a little bit of a flirtation going on. So eventually she also confessed to him that she killed her mom, and she told him the details. And Jack was like, "I need to call the police." And he did. Jack actually called the police. Out of everybody that they told, only one person was like, So he called the police. They needed a recorded confession from the girls. So they outfitted his car to have a video recorder in there. He would pick up the girls between December 2003 and January 2004, and he would go on a few drives with both of the girls where they would talk about what happened. The girls would discuss the plot, who had kind of been involved. Of course, all this video evidence, well, this all got played in a court of law. Once they were arrested, their identities were of course sealed via Canadian law, and the media gave them the nickname the Bathtub Girls. Cute. In 2006, the girls were convicted of first-degree murder. They were tried as minors. So, because they were minors, so the maximum sentence that they could get, 10 years in prison for that crazy premeditated murder. Bethany's boyfriend, Scott, was also found guilty of conspiracy to aid in murder, as he was the one who supplied the Tylenol 3s and all those really incriminating chat logs. There's no way you can get around that. Scott did appeal his case, trying to get his conviction overturned. I think it failed, but it appeared by the time he filed his appeal, he had already been out of prison for several years, so I'm not really sure what the whole purpose of that was. Served a little bit of time. He got out on good behavior. Guess who else got out on good behavior early? That's right, Beth and Sandra. Both of them only served 3 to 5 years of their 10-year sentence. Let me get my mascara and lipstick on before we get into this. Okay, looks all done. So, let's wrap this story up. Yes, Beth and Sandra both got out of prison. They weren't immediately released back into society. They did have to go through living in halfway homes for a while and then under house arrest, when they eventually even did go to university while under house arrest. Pretty wild. A psychologist who was working with Beth, though, was not into the idea, and he said, and I quote, "She still lies and manipulates to get what she wants," and quote, "There is no limit to what she will do." But those statements did not stop the courts in Canada to go ahead and set them free. They did have stipulations with their parole. Of course, they couldn't drink. They also weren't allowed to date, which they both did dislike, being in a college environment, especially the dating aspect. They both eventually did graduate and receive degrees. Sandra focused on earth sciences, specifically in geophysics. Go Sandra. And Beth actually studied law. She got married and she has a kid. Yeah. Beth works for the Ontario, Canada legal system now. She is studying to become a lawyer. She did have to undergo a character evaluation to prove to the country that she has the moral character to be able to perform the job of an attorney. But I'm pretty sure that anyone who becomes an attorney goes through that same, like, moral character test, so I don't think it was, like, special for her in any way. It's kind of wild. Can you imagine, like, you are being convicted of something and then your attorney is actually one of the Bathtub girls? I don't really know if I'd feel comfortable about. Also, can you imagine, like, being her kid and then finding out that your mom killed her mom and that's why you don't have a grandma with her? The secrets some families hold is just crazy to me. It's wild. And that is the story of the Bathtub Girls. I thought it was going to be a quick, easy story to tell, not gonna lie. But the more I dove in, the more hooked I got. There was also a book written by Bob Mitchell. It's called The Class Project, How to Kill a Mother. And there was a movie based on this book as well. Bob Mitchell is actually the one that gave Linda, Sandra, and Beth their aliases, but everyone else's aliases were made by yours truly. The movie is actually called Perfect Sisters. It came out in 2014. I did watch it. It's actually for free on Amazon IMDb with ads. Mina Sorvino plays Linda. Love her. Love Romy and Michelle. Abigail Breslin plays Sandra. Love her. And Georgie Henley plays Beth, who she's from Chronicles of Narnia. Love her too, super cute. In the movie, they did kind of allude to the fact that Linda was, like, in the medical profession, so maybe she wasn't a pilot. Maybe she actually was, like, a medical professional. I don't know. But I would say, like, the majority of the movie, after reading the court documents and watching the film, it's pretty accurate as to stuff that happens. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you liked it as much as I liked making it. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the taco bell icon so you get a notification every time I post a video. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye!